afternoon, everybody. 2 shootings and a fire keeping first responders busy today. Plus, the cruise ship Carnival Spirit returns to Mobile. And an attack on an Alabama synagogue stopped before it could happen. Those stories and more on News 5 Now.
Brought to you by Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to News 5 Now. I'm Devin Walsh. Glad to be with you on this Tuesday afternoon. We have certainly had a very busy morning news-wise. We've had a lot of breaking news, and we've been trying to get updates on that couple from Mobile stranded down in Jamaica during Hurricane Melissa. And I'll tell you, we'll have an update on that in just a moment, but that hurricane... Category 5 hurricane is just bearing down on Jamaica right now. And so we haven't seen any pictures coming out of there, but hopefully we will get some this afternoon because everybody is so worried about all of the people in that island nation, as well as those in Cuba. This monster storm is headed their way. Let's go ahead and get to our big stories at this hour, and I can give you a couple of updates on that hurricane. Number 5, the FBI is stopping a series of possible attacks on Alabama synagogues. Several local agencies helped with the investigation, including the Clark County Sheriff's Office, which shared a picture of guns and ammo seized. Investigators say someone in Choctaw County was planning the violence at several synagogues in Alabama and surrounding states. We are working to get more information from the FBI. Number 4, cruises are back as the Carnival Spirit kicks off a new season. The Carnival Spirit cruised into Mobile around 6 this morning. This is the first cruise out of the port city since March, when the Spirit took a 6-month break. The Spirit will be here until March and then take another 6-month break. At that time, the ship will go to Alaska, but year-round cruises with another ship, the Carnival Valor, are set to begin in May of 2027. Number 3, a Gulf Coast couple remains stranded in Jamaica as Hurricane Melissa approaches. Brianna Orzo says her sister Destiny and Destiny's new husband Taylor Lowry tied the knot on October 18th. They plan to go to Jamaica for their honeymoon. Well, the family started hearing about Hurricane Melissa 3 days ago, and on Monday they found out the storm was strengthening near the island. They couldn't get out. They could not get a flight off the island. So Brianna says her sister has been sending updates, and I have been messaging with the mom. The mom, Tanya, tells me that the couple was moved out of their bungalow and they moved into a safe zone as the hurricane is moving over the island as we speak. Number 2, first responders handling a lot of emergencies on the same street this morning. The first one was a shooting, but we're showing you video of a house fire. This happened on Bayshore Avenue. It was a duplex. It was an electrical fire. But what they were most concerned about, or at least police were concerned about, a shooting call that came in. One person was shot and seriously wounded on Bayshore, but a spokesperson tells us the injuries were not life-threatening. And then another shooting reported today about 11 o'clock this morning on Rex Drive. 2 men were hit by gunfire. One was very seriously wounded. The other has non-life-threatening injuries. Both were taken to the hospital. It was an isolated incident. They say it was not related to the shooting this morning, but we've got a crew at the scene, and hopefully we can bring you even more information later today on News 5. But certainly a very busy news day with shootings and the fire and the cruise ship. A lot happening in Mobile today. Okay, it is time for our question of the day, and this one has to do with college football. And so we asked you about your reaction to the firing of Brian Kelly. LSU's head coach Brian Kelly was fired this weekend. Do you have any thoughts on that? Let's see. Paul says he wasn't fired. He was bought out of his contract for $57 million. Yeah, I mean, Brian Kelly's laughing all the way to the bank, right? Spencer says he's a Bama fan, so he doesn't really care. Billy calls him the $50 million man. Patrick, me and Gary, they're nothing to do with Bama. Ryan says he's gone. Mike says Hugh Freeze is 1 loss away from joining him. Pat says best thing LSU did in a long time. Go Tigers. Jim says his record was not bad enough to be fired, but LSU wants a championship. I think they all do. John asks, why not wait until the season is over? Bud says, go Irish, because Brian Kelly came from Notre Dame. So, yeah, I mean, it is kind of weird about all these firings in the middle of the season. I don't know how that could be good for the team to get somebody else in there, but apparently it happens all the time. And Brian Kelly's going to make can you imagine $57 million? Think about how expensive it is to send your kids to college. And they're going to pay him $57 million. Oh my goodness, they could be lowering tuition, couldn't they? My goodness. I have a senior in high school, so I'm looking at all these college prices. So that's crazy that they're spending that much money to let him go. All right, now it's time for our poll of the day. And we're asking you this question because we know that electric cars have become a lot more popular. So we're asking you, what do you prefer, electric or gas vehicles? What do you prefer, electric or gas vehicles? Electric, gas, or no opinion? Electric, gas, or no opinion? Let us know if you have an opinion on that. And if you would like to also comment on our question of the day, you have until 5:30 to do it. That's when the next edition of News 5 Now airs at 5:30. And you can find the question and the poll on WKRG.com and WKRG's Facebook page. Okay, everybody, that is going to do it for this edition of News 5 Now. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a nice afternoon. By the way, you might want to spend some time in the next couple of days looking for your coats because it is going to be very cold as we get towards the end of the week. Temperatures are going to be in the 40s. So Halloween is going to be chilly. So make sure you find all your warm clothes because you're going to need to bundle up later in the week. All right, that does it for me here on News 5 Now. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you back for WKRG News 5 at 5 o'clock.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers.
In the courtroom, the judge knows best, and this judge does too. If you've been hurt in a wreck, you need a law firm that knows the system and how it works. I'm attorney David Green. Call or come by anytime. You never need an appointment.